All right, Shalom. First and very foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Next, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who still rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing His word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Another day closer. All right, another day closer to the destruction of America, which is Babylon the Great. Another day closer to the implementation of the radio frequency identification device that you see being highlighted on the screen, which is the mark of the beast. All right, which was prophesied to come first and foremost, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Those are the prophets coming back in their lot to fulfill their lot and to receive their crown, whether they receive it or not. All right, and they were called conspiracy theorists. They were called crazies, nut jobs, Looney Tunes, all of these various names for prophesying this prophecy. Okay. And even us younger men that came under them, we endured the same ridicule, the same scoffing and mocking for believing and being able to see, have the eye salve to see this prophecy afar off. So Joe Biden said it, not us. Okay. The POTUS. The POTUS stands for President of the United States. He's the one that made this statement. The future of the blank industry is going to be made in America. Now, what is so important about this particular industry that he's speaking about? And this is why you have all of the turmoil and the drama that you have between China and Taiwan in the South China Sea, because there's a particular element in the South China Sea that is imperative to the development of these things that you see on the screen, that you see highlighted on the screen. Okay, and so China is jostling for control over that South China Sea. America is jostling with Taiwan for control over the South China Sea, because the one nation that gets control over that sea will be the forerunners of the NWO and this industry, because this is the future. Whether you other Israelite camps can see it or not, this is the future, as the president himself said. Okay? It's the future of currency, it's the future of medicine, and it's the future because it's prophecy. Okay? And this prophecy will bring in the end. Once this thing is made mandatory, once you other camps are required to get it, and everybody across the four corners of the earth is required to get it for purchases, for buying and selling, well, the Lord said to look up because your redemption draweth nigh. So we're another step close. We get excited when we hear, things about the NWO. We get excited because we don't have fear. The Lord said, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of peace and a sound mind. Power and a sound mind. So lucky because I'm a little sick. But I gotta bust these videos out to the spirit and power. How about you, Lord willing, quick and edifying. So there you see it. Joe Biden said the future of the blank industry is going to be made in America. So I wonder now, why are these other camps not reporting this? This is a tweet from James Melville. Meanwhile, in Sweden, thousands of Swedes are having blank IDs inserted into their hands to swipe into homes, offices, concerts, and to access social media. Another conspiracy theory becomes reality. I gotta use code words. All right, I gotta, try to throw off the algorithm.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID, and he doesn't need money. And
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mute this video because they're gonna use the word, and I don't want the video to get taken down. So I'm gonna mute the video, and you're just gonna be able to see what's going on. It's obvious what's going on. Okay, Revelation 13 and 16 is what's going on, man. I don't know how long, okay, you false teachers, will you continue to teach a vain vision, okay, and prophesy divinations of your own heart. I mean, this thing is plain. Like I said, I'm not going to play the sound because I don't want them to say the word and then the video get taken down, but it's clearly you see what's going on. Your keys, okay? Your ID, okay? Your wallet. They want to centralize everything. They want everything on one database. They want to connect you to the internet of all things. Okay?
like
Now, Black Mirror, if you watch Black Mirror, there's quite a few episodes on Black Mirror where Esau is showing you his desires, man. As it is written, the wicked boast of his heart's desire. Okay? So he puts his plans in front of you to see if you're gonna think, oh, that's some fairy tale shit, or that's some sci-fi shit, or if you're a critical thinker like us and you know that this is where this devil is moving.
Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future. Install ingrained procedure with.
That's the episode right there. I forget what season and what episode it is, but there was an episode where he had the potato chip right there inserted behind his ear, and what he could do with this was he could record his vision and he could play back memories. This is what Esau wants to do. Elon Musk was on record saying that with his Neuralink potato chip that he gonna put in your forehead, he said that he could download lyrics to your brain. So what's the difference between downloading a lyric and downloading a thought process? Okay, or downloading like on the Matrix, downloading a skill pattern. Also known as an NFC, okay, potato chip, radio frequency identification, or an NFC.
Process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is.
So that's all we got. It says thousands of Swedes are having the blank IDs inserted into their hands to swipe into homes, offices, concerts, and to access social media. So you're gonna have to have this. That's gonna get Jake right there, man. Because you Israelites, you can't live without social media, man. They tell you got to take that to get on Instagram or TikTok. You gonna do it, man, because you shallow. You don't fear the Lord. Majority of our people, they don't fear the Lord. 2/3 to be exact. Now I did some research on this. It says the Bank of England, as of September 30th, 2022, is the last day you can use the $20 and $50 paper notes. Now they're not completely doing away with the paper money, because they have a different version of these paper dollars, but it is a foreshadow of things to come. It's a foreshadow of things to come. Now I'm gonna play this video. Listen and listen close.
China and said, both sides are going to. I remember talking to an Australian diplomat at one point about this break between the U.S. and China.
Remember, I spoke about the war between U.S. and China is mainly over. They don't want you to know, but it's over the South China Sea. Okay, because they want control over that sea because there's an immense amount of whatever element it is. I forget if it's lithium or uranium or whatever. There's a abundance of that element in that sea, and that element is key to making the top potato chips, for lack of better word, for lack of better nicknames. Okay, so that's why U.S. and China is, playing tug of war. They want, both of them want to be ahead of the head of the NW Izzo. All right, but the Lord said, "Why do the heathen rage?" in Psalms 2, and the people imagine a vain thing, because neither one of these nations is going to control the globe for too much longer. It's going to be the nation of Israel under Yahushua, King David, and the Lord's elect, and every unbeliever getting put down.
And said, both sides are going to say, whose team are you on? And he said, our job is to make sure the question never arises. But the question has arisen. And so I think we have to go deeper. And it's not about the U.S. versus China. It's about what underpins a world order is always the financial system. I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard in 71. And so I was brought up with a kind of inside view of how very important the financial structure is to absolutely everything else. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly.
This is Dr. Piper Malmgren, economic former U.S. presidential advisor. This is the World Government Summit 2022. Listen to what she's about to say. And the elders and apostles of Great Millstone have been saying this before any of these people said it in public.
I think is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means
blockchain. Blockchain is something that deals with the various points of a person's identity, like we saw earlier, dealing with that video that we played prior. Your keys, okay, your ID, your medical records, your wallet. That's what the blockchain is.
Means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity.
This is what Esau wants. He wants a record of every single transaction that is ever made, so that, as he puts it, he can have a better accuracy of what's going on within his economy. But really what it is, it's about control. It's about being like the Most High God. Okay? It's about control. So that now, if you owe me money, I don't have to call you and get my calls ignored. I don't have to send you paper mail. I just go right to your chip account, and I deduct the money from the credits or the money or whatever right off of your device. Okay? And, I can stop you from accessing buildings. I can stop you from accessing your own home. I can turn up the frequency on that device and you will not be able to go to sleep. Yeah, all these things are possible with that device. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to make it sound good as it is written. Let's go to Psalms. They're going to make it sound like convenience. They're going to make it sound like equality, transparency. These are the type of words that they may use. But we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Psalms 55, verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You see, these words sound real smooth and real good, but really, they're fixing to put you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans either in a C camp or a Q camp, or to put a device in your hand or your forehead. That's all they want to do, because those two ways get them one step closer to getting their birthright back. That's what this is all about. To try for Esau to try to get his birthright and his blessing back. What is not possible because it's not written.
Almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us for abandon the traditional system of money, an dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money.
Well, you had a United States Constitution, and niggas were still getting lynched and having their backs whipped. So what is a digital constitution going to do, man? How is that going to control the dangers of the power of this dynamic? Okay, it won't, man. And because the objective is not to control power, but to enhance power. But again, the words of their mouth are smoother than butter, but war is in their heart.
Huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money. But also, this new money will be sovereign in nature. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The US is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that as well. And the question is, will that new system of digital money and digital accounting accommodate the competing needs of the citizens of all these locations so that every human being has a chance to have a better life? Because that's the only measure of whether a world order really serves.
So you see, it's about the world order, okay? So she was on record saying we are on the brink of a dramatic change. We are about to abandon the traditional system of money and replace it with a new one, digital blockchain CBDC, which will give us greater clarity over every single transaction, man.
Banks, this is my last slide because my 12 minutes are just up, have reacted to the truth coming out. They admit that they've been telling porkies, and now they propose to increase their power. So central bankers belatedly admit, oh, now that you've mentioned it, yes, banks create the money supply. So let's abolish that now. And also, by the way, let's abolish cash. So what should we do? Well, introduce digital cyber currency that central banks issue and control, and thereby gain total control over all economic transactions, decisions, and the whole lot you've just heard from the CEO of the GDI. So the greatest concentration of central banking power in history is really the bid they're aiming at. That's the central bank's goal. And of course, digital accounts of dissenters and regime critics could be switched off. It'd be very difficult to even purchase necessities. So this is an Orwellian dystopia of total control, the end of any freedoms. That's really what central banks are aiming at.
You see, this is what they're aiming at, the end of all freedoms. Like you said, it'll be really easy for them to cut it off, and you will not have access to purchase anything. You will have to bend to their will. And if you don't have the covering of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, if you are not believing on those names in truth and in sincerity, okay, then you are going to die, man. You're going to be destroyed out here in these coming days, man. If the famine don't get you, because there is going to be a famine of food, all right? If the famine don't get you, then the race wars and the riots will get you. If the riots don't get you, then the missiles going to get you. Nobody going to escape the missiles.
Central banks have, like the...
And anybody that takes this device is guaranteed destruction pursuant to Revelation 14.
Bank of England already prepared their microchip implant RFID chip to be implanted under your skin. And really,
let's play that back.
Dissenters and regime critics could be switched off. It'd be very difficult to even purchase necessities. So this is an Orwellian dystopia of total control, the end of any freedoms. That's really what central banks are aiming at. Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant, RFID chip, to be implanted under your skin.
So the Bank of England already has this thing prepared.
And why is the sudden discussion about universal basic income from all the grassroots and inverted commas movements and billionaires? Oh, universal basic income is the bribe for you to accept the microchip.
Surveillance technology will be rolled out next month to help Australian businesses.
Schwab's top advisor, Dr. Yuval Noah Harari. Let's see what he has to say.
Data might enable human elites to do something even more radical than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it.
Elites hacking organisms and re-engineering life itself? Well, he's not talking about doing that to people, is he?
Now, in the past, many tyrants and governments wanted to do it, but nobody understood biology well enough, and nobody had enough computing power and data to hack millions of people. Neither the Gestapo nor the KGB could do it. But soon, at least some corporations and government.
Now this guy, Dr. Yuval Noah Harari, is a transhumanist and top advisor to Klaus Schwab and the World Economical Forum. You gotta say it like that. So this guy, who is a transhumanist, a obvious advocate for this device and this technology, is one of the top advisors for the leader of the World Economic Forum. Okay. I mean, if you can't see it, man, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't understand how, we just blessed, we got to thank Yahweh Shem Shai for opening our eyes, and having us in this 100% truth, man, because it's a scary thing to, be an Israelite, but not actually have the truth,
Will be able to systematically hack all the people.
Well, I guess he was talking about doing that to people. All people, to be specific.
And if indeed we succeed in hacking and engineering life, this will be not just the greatest revolution in the history of humanity. This will be the greatest revolution in biology since the very beginning of life 4 billion years ago. For 4 billion years, nothing fundamental changed.
Not playing God, are you? Because that usually works out super well.
Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds.
Oh, you are playing God. Say more.
You see the pride of these devils, man? You see the pride of these devils? They actually think that they could outdo the Most High. They actually think that there is no Most High. Let me play that back.
Is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds.
Oh, you are?
Of some God above the clouds. You hear his tone? Who do these people think that they are, man? 2 Thessalonians 2:4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And yet he is not the Most High, man, but he's just a man. This dude is, he's absolutely lost his mind. Ezekiel 28:2, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Esau, Edom. These devils are the modern day prince of Tyrus. As you're going to read and understand, it says, Thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas. yet thou art a man, and not God or power. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. That's what they're doing. They're setting their heart as if it was the heart of the Most High. They're trying to play the Most High, and they're gonna fail miserably, man.
Design, not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds.
Oh, you are playing God. Say more.
Evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design, not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds, the IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud. These are the new driving forces of evolution.
Gosh, you wouldn't by chance have a plan in place on how to control people with your cloud technology, would you? And that plan isn't by chance already being implemented, is it?
Today, we have the technology to.
So these guys, the new God and religion that's going to be emerging is science and technology. And you're going to have to bow, not physically, or well, physically in a way, but not physically bow, but you're going to have to bend to the will of these people, man. You know, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it. So that's pretty much all I had dealing with that topic. You know, here's another video dealing with it. It says personal carbon wallets. So the conditioning begins allocating individuals and individual carbon allowance, which will limit your ability to travel, eat meat, or use energy. And of course, normal people will be able to sell theirs to the rich.
A carbon wallet, she called it actually.
Yeah.
So right in line
It says
the digital
restarts rolling out digital ID cards last week.
identity is not just a passport that you will have on your iPhone in a digital form. It entails just about everything the government would like to know about you. And yesterday in the Dutch media, we saw a perfect example of what it could entail in the near future. We had the CEO of one of the largest Dutch banks say, why don't we start with a personal carbon credit?
Oh.
A carbon wallet, she called it actually.
Yeah.
So right in line with the plans that the World Economic Forum people have for us. And she said it in a way that was particularly funny. She said, well, if everyone gets an individual personal carbon credit, why don't we make it so that rich people who, for example, want to go on holiday a little too often can buy personal carbon credit from other people who, for example, can't afford buying plane tickets or eating meat too often. So we can that way swap it out.
Oh, so if Bill Gates or Leonardo DiCaprio's carbon footprint is getting a bit too big, then some peasant living in his hovel up country somewhere can sell his, and he can't afford to go to Saint-Tropez, but he'll be able to sell his carbon allowance to Leonardo DiCaprio so Leonardo can park his yacht in Saint-Tropez for a couple of extra days.
Exactly right. That's it. So what will happen is the rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer, and they're saying it openly as if it's not a controversial thing at all. It's neo-feudalism. That's what it is. And they don't mind, you know, it's just, yeah, okay. Then they said, well, it's just a thought experiment, because obviously a lot of people were kind of upset about this communist ideal that they just presented to the people on TV as a good idea. So they said, "Oh no, it's a thought experiment." Well, we've heard that before.
Yeah, we've had too many thought, but it was interesting to see. As you were talking, we saw that banker.
I don't need to play more. I'm gonna close because I'm sick as hell. It says Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, and this man is preparing himself to come down hard on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to get you to bow down to his new world order, okay? And at some point, you're going to have to obey this man's system at the penalty of death. You know, that's why the Lord said in Revelation 20 that he saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the for the testimony, man, that they held. So you're gonna have some men in this faith and in this truth that we're gonna have to give up our lives, in order to not transgress the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the testimony of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, being martyrs and dying a beautiful death for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. But it's clear and obvious that we are at the end. Joe Biden himself said that device is the future of America. America will be the future of that device. So you Israelites, that's been scoffing and mocking, hey, get ready, man. Get ready. Because the Lord said in that day then shall be known who are my chosen. For they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostle and elder, the great millstone, who still rule and teach well. Peace, bless, safety to the Lord's elect. Kom Yashar, Shalom.